Oh my goodness. The Lakers basketball is finally back. They are taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, who are fresh off a win against the Denver Nuggets last night at the Intuit Dome. This is the Lakers' chance to see where they are at, making that final playoff push, seeing if they can get the highest seed possible to get home court advantage. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. It is not going to be easy. And it starts tonight against the Clippers. And then, of course, we got a new president of business operations. Lon Rosen has been hired for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Dodgers model is starting to implement its way into the Los Angeles Lakers. We got to discuss that. And of course, for the first time in a long time, it seems like the Lakers have a clean, let me say that one more time. They have a clean injury report. Whew. Let's see how that is going to be and how that is going to look on the basketball court tonight. But of course, I got to talk about my beautiful friends at Pechanga Resort Casino. And you can play a perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. Okay, before I get into the Clippers game tonight and a clean injury report, I do have to talk about Lon Rosen stepping in for the Los Angeles Lakers in being the president of business operations. And what does that mean going forward for the Los Angeles Lakers, and what are they going to be doing? Look, as much as we love the Dodgers model, and as much as we love seeing what they have been doing, I think this is going to be a wonderful thing for the Lakers. We're getting tired of the old model as far as how the family business, the bus business, and seeing how that has been operated through these past couple of years. Honestly, through this decade. And this model has not been successful in the LeBron James era these past 8 seasons, if we're being honest. Since the bubble championship, if I'm being honest. And um, I think that with the Dodgers model coming into the Lakers, we're seeing all the Dodgers' success, especially being back-to-back World Series titles, and seeing how they have had a lot of success in their respective franchise. Seeing that coming over and seeing if that Dodgers model can be taken in place for the Lakers, I think this is going to be a really, really good thing. I know we have to have that conversation as far as, okay, baseball, there's no salary cap, and they're able to get a lot of their guys. Meaning, it's honestly a star driven town over there. Hell, they just got Kyle Tucker. They just keep on finding ways to get star caliber talent over there and finding the ways to implement that to their roster. And the biggest thing I took away when Andrew Friedman went on the Dan Le Batard show, he said, we're always going to be active and aggressive. We're always going to do stuff as far as for the fans and making sure the fans are pretty much taken care of, but also focusing real hard on the present, but not letting that ruin their future. When I heard that, that was music to my ears. Music to my ears. And Travis Rogers always says it is that this is going to be a good thing because now you're starting to put smart people in the building. You're putting smart ownership, smart business operators in the building, and you're going to have a guaranteed plan. And I know they, speaking on the afternoon show, DeMarco and Travis, that they are real big, and I'm going to bring it up once again, bringing in Giannis. They feel like that would be a good thing for the Lakers. I, of course, am still against that. But this is where I'm tying it in as far as I understand in baseball, and I could be wrong, but this is just my own personal opinion, that you can throw in a lineup with a bunch of star players and you can have a lot of success because it's very positional based, meaning you can have a guy who excels really, really well in that baseball field, and all of a sudden it all can tie in together. Basketball operates a little different, and that's where I get a little worried as far as the baseball model and what they have been doing for the Dodgers has been working. Yes, it has taken a lot of time. It's took a couple years to get to this point where the Dodgers are at. They're at the highest level of any baseball team you could ever think of through the whole entire MLB. But basketball is a little bit different. So it's going to be a little challenge as far as how are they going to bring that model and that success into the Lakers, knowing that there's a salary cap, knowing that there's a second apron. And I know that them going all in, we're hearing the reports on them going all in on Giannis is a big deal and is a big thing that is going to be a lot of rumors going into the offseason. But I came to the conclusion that is that good just for a business standpoint and bringing in revenue and getting all these ticket sales and all those different types of things, which I feel like Lakers never struggle when it comes to ticket sales. They always are going to have a sold out arena. Or is that actually going to be good for the product on the basketball court? The Dodgers make a lot of moves as far as what's good for the product for the fans, but also what's good on the baseball field. And that's why they've had a lot of success. They have good locker room guys. They got guys that buy in. You can trust them being consistent, night in and night out. Lakers have had those struggles. They don't have guys that you can trust on a consistent basis. Besides who? Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, Rui here and there, Jared Vanderbilt here and there. And then you look at the rest of the bench, there's some struggles. I know we haven't seen much of Luke Kennard. Let's see what he can do as the second half of the season of the NBA is here. I am not opposed. I'm glad that the Dodgers just started to see it trickle in. Different guys going into their positions of the Lakers franchise. It is time. The family-owned operation and how it's been ran, it has ran its course. And this new era should be a good thing. And I just hope you guys are listening and that are in the YouTube chat and hearing me what I'm saying is that it might not happen next year. Hell, it might not even happen in the year 2027. But you can always assure that there's a plan, a real strategic plan going forward for the Lakers. And that's what I'm saying. This is good. This is good. But I just get worried as far as what is the actual process being in. If you think going all in on Giannis is a good move, and Travis said it himself that if they feel like that is a good move, then they actually have real people in there, real smart people that will understand and figure it out and make sure the roster is constructed the right way. If you do bring in a duo like Giannis and Luka Doncic for next year, remember they will have to make a trade for him. They will have to make a real cause as far as what assets do they have to actually trade for a guy like him. By them making that move is what Travis is saying is that they are all in and they understand that this is going to be good product on the basketball court. He said there's a reason, and I kind of hear what he's saying. I hear what he's saying, but I just feel like the real plan that is going to be in store is once again 3 and D wing guys, athletic bigs who can run the floor, 3-point shooters. And I know you guys are saying, why can't you do both? Why can't they still build a team around Giannis? I get all that. I understand all that. I just feel like they will put themselves and dig themselves in a hole. Honestly, I just hope that Lakers, if they do keep one of their draft picks, draft someone. Draft a younger, athletic, wing guy who you can still build around and still build a promising future for. But they remember the Lakers have to hit on those draft picks. And that's why them opening up 3 future picks as well, you gotta be on the lookout for that. You have to be on the lookout for that. So I see you guys in the YouTube chat. And David in the YouTube chat saying, hopefully the Lakers will draft better. Is Smart or Rui starting? I don't understand. I don't understand. Excuse me. I don't know who is going to be in the starting lineup or who will not be in the starting lineup. I do know that Austin Reeves is finally off a minutes restriction. Austin Reeves is going to be fully and ready to go. Luka Doncic is off the injury report. This is a game where the Lakers have no excuse against the Los Angeles Clippers. And I want to, I know I'm kind of shifting gears here and kind of going all over the place, but just real quick, I gotta give a little bit of my pointers on how the Clippers have been, what the Clippers have been doing this season. They are a very, very weird franchise, like absolutely weird. To start the season off, the Clippers were 6-21. I know this is supposed to be Lakers talk day. I hear you. I know, but I just want to just follow me. The Clippers are they started the season on 6-21. It looked like their season was over. Bradley Beal gets hurt. James Harden is frustrated. Kawhi Leonard is frustrated, saying that we need more talent. We need more talent on this roster. And then you see how the Chris Paul thing goes down. They bring in Chris Paul, a veteran guy. Chris Paul, knowing that he's going to retire at the end of the season, he wants to retire as the Los Angeles Clippers. You heard his stuff, and I've been seeing all the news that he's been putting out there. As far as he had a great conversation with Tyronn Lue, Lawrence Frank, all those different types of guys, and you're seeing what he was trying to do with the Clippers, and we understand what Chris Paul is and how much he commands and demands in the locker room. We seen what they did with him, sending him home, literally sending him home in the middle. I mean, literally after a game, and then all of a sudden, season progresses. James Harden rumors come out, and they're trying to find a solution and a trade for James Harden, and you're all like, "What the hell?" Okay, and they end up trading James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then guess what? They are not done. All of a sudden, they trade Ivica Zubac to the Indiana Pacers. So the Clippers all of a sudden are trying to go on a fire sale after they turned their whole entire season around with those guys on the roster. And then we always remember what the offseason was leading towards before the season started with the whole Kawhi Leonard aspiration stuff and how he could be in big trouble. And after seeing how everything has been going down through this entire season, between starting the season off 6-21, sending Chris Paul home, James Harden getting traded. We're going to trade Zubac. We're going to get Darius Garland. They're going to get all these different types of first-round picks. It always leads towards one thing for me, and that is the Clippers either know something is going to happen, either during the season or after the season, or they just feel like they're going to mail it in. And this is where I'm going to tie it into the game tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. The Clippers beat the Denver Nuggets last night, 115-114. The Clippers are still 27-28. They are 27-28. Ben Mathurin, guy that they acquired in that trade for Ivica Zubac, had 38 points last night against the Nuggets. 38 points off the bench. Off the bench. Kawhi Leonard is having a really successful, quiet season. He's averaging 27, 6, and 4. If you're the Lakers and you just think you're going to come out here against the Los Angeles Clippers team, who is still somehow winning games, you're going to be in some trouble. And you have to get this game tonight against the Clippers to start your second half of the season off right. You have a clean injury report. A clean injury report. It's going to start with Luka Doncic setting the tone. It's going to start with Austin Reeves setting the tone. It's going to start with LeBron James setting the tone. The so-called Big Three is going to have to set the tone. You can't just come out there against a team like the Clippers, who everyone believes that their season is done, and they're still finding ways to win games, and come out here and trick this game off. You want to set the tone. You want to start getting back into the right mix. Go out there and take care of business against the Clippers. And this is where I'm going to take a more deeper dive into the rest of this Lakers schedule and into how every single game is critical and important for the Lakers, because where they are currently sitting at is number 5 in the Western Conference. Do you guys know who is sitting number 4 in the Western Conference right now? And if the playoffs were to begin today, the Lakers would have to take on the Denver Nuggets. And it would be on the road to start that series off. So that's why if you're the Lakers, you can't be losing games and affording to lose games to the Clippers or teams who are, I would say, the teams that you are better than. And that's what's been the Lakers' issue throughout this entire season. And I want to take more of a deeper dive into this Lakers roster and actually if they do have enough to contend and compete. And I want you guys in the YouTube chat. And when I start getting more into this, I'll read off your guys' comments. We'll have a more deeper dive conversation into, is this team really have enough to make an actual playoff push and actually be legit contenders? But before I do any of that, gotta take a little break. Let my partners at Bachanga give you guys a quick word. Or we can just keep it here. So, with that being said, the Los Angeles Lakers are taking on the LA Clippers tonight at Crypto.com Arena, their first game back from the All-Star break. And Lakers are
At
currently
Pechanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
We are back with Lakers Talk Daily. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties back there in our studio. But to go back to what I'm saying, let's get our thoughts back together. Let's reset this episode of Lakers Talk Daily. All right. The Lakers are taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. The Lakers are currently sitting at the fifth seed. All right. If the playoffs were to start today, they would be taking on the Denver Nuggets on the road. And ideally, if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you know what your goal is after everyone has been saying that you do not have enough to contend for a championship and you still want to be competitive, you got to try to get home court advantage. And I understand the Lakers are 15-10 at home. If my mind is right on that, I'm gonna double check for you guys because I want to be accurate when I give you guys information like that. And I understand Lakers have actually had a lot of success on the road this season. They actually been a better road team than a home team. Yes, Lakers are currently 15-10 at home. And you look at yourself and you look at the way this roster is constructed. All right. LeBron, you know what you're going to get out of LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. You know what you're going to get. And the one thing I would like to touch on as far as those three guys is they have not played enough minutes together on the basketball court. Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James have not played enough minutes on the basketball court. While other teams in the Western Conference, and I sound like a broken record when I say this, is that they have a lot of reps with their guys. This Lakers team has not had a lot of reps with their guys. And with 28 games remaining in this season, that is a big concern for me and worries because this is a time where you're making minor tweaks and adjustments. They still got to figure out how to implement Luke Kennard in the lineup and get him going and see how offenses ran with him. And once again, I do believe Luke Kennard is a great addition for this team. One, he can shoot the hell out that ball. Two, he actually does a great job of moving without the basketball. And three, we even see moments of him putting the ball on the floor and actually making strong decisions and getting to the basket and kicking out. That is three things that I'm able to list off that he can be a big addition for the Los Angeles Lakers. But when you don't have enough reps with your top three guys and Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron, it worries me because the spacing aspect, all right, the decision making, who's gonna have the ball in this possession, who's gonna take a shot in this moment, which I understand going down the stretch, JJ Redick is definitely gonna drop a play for Luka Doncic, or depending on who is having the night, maybe Austin Reeves. But Austin Reeves was playing at a all-star caliber level heading in heading in before the first half of the season, before he was dealing with that calf strain. All right. And then you have LeBron, who's been in and out the lineup a lot early in this season, but he's still playing at an all-time high. All right. Luka Doncic, of course, we've seen him He's been dealing with that injury, the hamstring injury, but you have a clean injury report. Health is definitely the biggest factor. I see Brian in the YouTube chat saying health is going to be a big factor in this year's playoff run for any team. If Luka, AR, and Bron are healthy, they can win a first round series, but don't love our chances unless we move up. Yes, that's where I'm exactly getting at, and I'm so glad he pointed that out. Is that I don't love it that the Lakers are still sitting there in that fifth range. All right, and it's crazy because that's how the Western Conference has been throughout these past couple of seasons. We talk about it all the time. Every single game is important when you're in the Western Conference because how close the standings are. And I'm going to take a look at where the standings are currently at because I know the Lakers are still currently sitting at the fifth seed, and it could change if they do win tonight against the Los Angeles Clippers. But what worries me even more with this team is they don't have enough reps with their big three. But then you got to look at the bench unit. All right, you got to look at Rui, and I think Rui, which Greg Bergman, our favorite Greg Bergman, hates, which I do believe he has moments where he can help out tremendously on the offensive end of the floor as far as his shot selection, his ability to take guys off the dribble. He's actually shooting at a really, really high rate from the three-point line. But what happens when Rui doesn't get his shot going? He starts to float around the perimeter. He's not getting involved a lot in the offense. He's not moving without the basketball. And it worries me because he's a guy that needs the ball in his hands sometimes in order to be engaged on the offensive end of the floor. Just like our very own DeAndre Ayton, who I will discuss. And I'm doing this because the second half of the season is important. And this is going to be where the Lakers are going to finish. And that's why I'm doing a deeper dive in this roster because I'm trying to find a way to see if they really have enough to stack up against other teams in the Western Conference. Right? So Lakers, again, they're the fifth seed at 33-21. Right below them is the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are 34-22. The Lakers are not too far away from the play-in tournament. So if you're the Lakers and you consistently lose trick off some of these games with 28 games remaining, you can easily find yourself in a play-in tournament. And how is that favor the Lakers? I remember one year they did go in the play-in tournament, and hell, they made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. But that's not necessarily going to be the case every single season when you have deficiencies on your roster, especially on the defensive end of the basketball court. So with them standing at the fifth seed, they have to get this win against Clippers. And they got to keep on moving up in the Western Conference standings. Try to get home court advantage and see. Because every single reporter saying, we haven't seen this Lakers team healthy. Well, here's your chance. And everyone's saying that they have a puncher's chance to actually winning games. Well, here you go. Healthy roster. Go in and see what this team looks like. And you can't lose a game like this. I'm telling you, I can't stress it enough. You can't lose a game against the Los Angeles Clippers, who I understand haven't played good basketball. But you follow that up after a game against the Clippers, they got the Boston Celtics coming into town. And Boston Celtics, a team who everyone thought was going to just punt this season. Jason Tatum isn't healthy. They don't have enough on this roster. And guess what? They have one of the top 5 records in the NBA. So you got them coming into town. And then followed up on Tuesday, you got a Orlando Magic team who is what? Aggressive. They always play hard. They're tough. They're real physical. And Lakers struggle with what? Teams that they can't match their physicality. Perfect example is who? The Houston Rockets, who came here on Christmas Day, who the Lakers will face 2 more times to finish off this season. Lakers struggled against that. A team who is tough, hard-nosed on the defensive end of the basketball court. That's where it always going to get difficult for the Lakers as each game goes on. Just to read some more off you guys on the YouTube chat, Dodgers for Life says Austin needs to come off the bench. 3 ball handlers in the starting lineup is too much. I got a little counter for that. And I'm going to explain why, Dodgers. It's because you add Austin Reeves into the mix. And this is where that stretch where the Lakers were struggling when they were losing games, and we're like, oh my God, we can't wait for Austin Reeves to come back. Hell, I was even saying it on here, on Lakers Talk Daily, that the Lakers need Austin Reeves to come back. Why? It's because I specifically remember that New York Knicks game. And what were the Knicks doing? Doubling Luka Doncic as soon as he crossed the half-court line. And he had to make a decision. And that decision was LeBron James, who he was on the court, Luka Doncic at the time. He was on the bench. The lineup was Jake LaRavia, Vanderbilt, Rui, and Ayton, which to this day, I don't think that's a good lineup to throw out there in the mix. I know you still got Luka Doncic, but this is where adding Austin Reeves in the starting lineup will make things make them a little bit more difficult to defend. Is that if Luka Doncic gets doubled, he's able to swing the rock to Austin Reeves. What does Austin Reeves have been doing since he's been returning back to this lineup? He's been able to take guys off the dribble. He is a great shot creator. He's able to get to the basket, but he does one thing that is really, really good. He gets to the free throw line. So that's why adding Austin Reeves back into the starting lineup is a good mix. But again, they don't have enough reps. They have only played what? This will be their 11th game together on the basketball court. And I hope no one gets injured. I really, really hope that they can stay healthy throughout these 28 games of the season. Brian said in the YouTube chat, health is the name of the game for the remaining of this season for any team in the NBA. So that's why I do feel like you add Austin Reeves back into this mix in the starting lineup, which I do believe he provided a much-needed spark off the bench for the Lakers, along with Rui Hachimura. I feel like, and this is my ideal lineup, all right? You got Luka, you got LeBron, you got Austin. I would even consider keeping Marcus Smart in there. And of course, I mean, you have no choice. You keep DeAndre Ayton in the starting lineup. And he's another one that we have to discuss. And I'm doing a deep dive into this roster. Once again, just to remind you guys is this roster enough to actually compete come playoff time? Is this roster enough to compete with other teams in the Western Conference? So we're going to finish this off with DeAndre Ayton, who, if the Lakers want to get the most out of this season, they need him to be engaged. And I know it's a lot to ask for. They need him to be engaged. He doesn't necessarily need the ball in his hands to be effective on the basketball court. Meaning, if he is in a pick and roll game with Luka, and Luka needs to assert more energy into him and kind of demand more out of him, instead of throwing his hands up when DeAndre Ayton isn't rolling to the right basket, guide him and point him. You need to be in that damn spot. DeAndre Ayton needs to be more of a force, especially on the defensive end of the basketball court. He needs to be a walking double-double. He needs to be able to defend the paint. Because we vividly remember that Minnesota Timberwolves series and how Rudy Gobert was kicking their ass. Yes, I said it. Rudy Gobert legit won them a game in that series against the Lakers. And when the Lakers signed DeAndre Ayton, everyone was real high on him for the value that they got him. But if the Lakers don't have that real interior defense, if they're not able to guard the paint and also guard the perimeter, they're going to struggle for the remaining second half of the NBA. And that is another thing that we have to look at is how can they improve on the defensive end of the basketball court? Is JJ Redick going to keep on switching it up? Which I do believe he needs to be a guy that mucks it up and switches it up. Switch up your defense. Go into a 2-3 zone. Match up a little bit. And then switch it up. Go into a man, which the Lakers do struggle. Maybe at certain possessions, there is no need to go man to man and switch it up. Like meaning switching 1 through 5. Be hard and aggressive on the defensive end of the basketball court. The energy needs to be shifted more towards that. And I hope as these practices went on and the Lakers got the much needed rest, that they're able to make the necessary adjustments and minor tweaks on the end of the basketball court, because it is unacceptable to watch them sometimes on that end of the basketball floor. Their energy needs to be on that end. Offense, once again, is no question for the Los Angeles Lakers. We know that they can score with the best of them in the entire NBA. But if your bench is not coming in there and fulfilling their roles and maximizing what they can do, if you guys cannot defend and keep guys in front and you blow a lot of defensive assignments, if you let your offense dictate your defense, you're going to dig yourselves in a big hole. But here we are. Second half of the NBA season is here. It starts tonight at Crypto.com Arena against the Los Angeles Clippers, a Clippers team who is very, very weird, man. They're still finding ways to win games. The Lakers need to start the second half of the NBA season off right against the Clippers. Got the Boston Celtics coming up on Sunday. Your boy, by the way, I think I will be at Cosmo Los Angeles for it. If any of you guys are in attendance, I know we were doing some ticket giveaways at our station at ESPN Los Angeles. If you guys somehow happen to be there, come say what's up to your boy. I will be there watching the Lakers and Celtics game in there. But I'll be talking to you guys next week. We'll definitely be recapping the game tonight, recap the Boston Celtics game, and we'll see where the Lakers are at. And I can't wait. I can't wait to discuss more of this season with you guys who are always tuning in to Lakers Talk Daily. But for myself and my guys in the back, Lakers need to get this dub tonight against Los Angeles Clippers. I'll be talking to you guys next week. We out.
At Pechanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.